This is how the Coast Guard works. This is how they measure progress towards learning objectives and of adequate performance with the knowledge you've gained. Measurement of progress towards training objectives and of adequate performance. Coast Guard approved courses. In general, a Coast Guard approved course consists of a set of exam modules. One can determine which exam modules make up a course by consulting the Deck and Engineering Guide for the Administration of Merchant Mariner Examinations. Deck examinations generally consist of a combination of the following 5 modules: Rules of the Road, Navigation General, Navigation Problems, Deck General, and Deck Safety. The exam modules listed above are the foundation. There are variations of each exam module as well. For example, Navigation General has multiple versions, including, but not limited to, oceans, near coastal, and western rivers. In addition to having different versions, exam modules may be combined to create modules which cover a wider range of topics, such as navigation and deck general and safety, which is used for courses such as Upgrade OUPV to Master 100, as well as Upgrade Master 100 to MasterMate 200. Students must complete each exam module, which makes up their course, before attempting the final examination for that course. Progressing through exam modules. Students progress through exam modules by unlocking topics sequentially. When a student enters an exam module for the first time, only the first topic is unlocked. All of the resources and activities for that topic are available to the student. Students use resources and activities in the first topic to gain an understanding of the learning material and prepare for the quiz at the end of the topic. When the end of topic quiz is passed with adequate performance, the next topic is unlocked. Students progress through exam modules this way until they reach a final topic, which contains the final practice quiz for the exam module. Passing the final practice quiz unlocks a certificate of achievement for the exam module. The certificate of achievement shows progress towards training objectives and adequate performance for the exam module. When students unlock the certificate of achievement for each exam module which makes up their course, they're ready to schedule their final examination. This is one way to measure progress towards training objectives and adequate performance of each student. Quiz grades and adequate performance. Practice quizzes in the exam modules are set up to defer feedback until the quiz has been submitted for grading. This means that students may not guess and check, but must submit a final answer to get feedback whether that answer is correct or not. Essentially, the quizzes are set up the same way as the final exam. Quizzes may be attempted as many times as a student would like. Students are held to higher performance standards on practice quizzes than on the final exam. This practice increases the probability that students will pass the final exam with adequate performance on the first try. For example, students must achieve 80% or higher in all practice quizzes for exam modules with passing grades of 70% on the final exam. Students must achieve at least 90% on practice quizzes for exam modules with a passing grade of 90% on the final exam. Due to the fact that practice quizzes are shorter than final exams, the 90% performance standards harder to achieve. For example, on an 8-question practice quiz, the student must achieve 100% to pass the quiz and unlock the next section. This is because a score of 7 out of 8 on the practice quiz is only 87.5%. Thus, the student would need to score 100% on an 8-question practice quiz to have adequate performance. Course completion. A USCG approved course is complete once a student passes the final examination. To pass a final examination, a student must pass one final exam module. To pass a final examination, a student must pass one final exam per exam module which makes up their course. Each exam module has 3 versions of the final exam. Thus, the student gets 3 tries per exam module to show adequate performance. If a student fails any exam module 3 times, they must wait 60 days and then retest for all exam modules which make up their course. When students pass the final examination, they're issued a certificate of completion which satisfies USCG testing requirements for the endorsements they desire to have added to their MMC, or Merchant Mariner credential. The certificate of completion can be viewed as proof the student has shown progress towards required learning objectives and adequate performance with the knowledge they have gained. What does that mean? Let's take a look. We're going to use OUPV as an example, right? So these Coast Guard approved courses, such as OUPV, they all consist of exam modules. And the way you walk through an exam module is to unlock the topics within that exam module sequentially by passing quizzes. Until the end, you pass the final practice quiz, you unlock a certificate of achievement for that exam module. You do that for all the exam modules which make up your course, then you're ready for your final exam. On your final exam, each exam module that you unlocked a certificate for, they each have a final exam, and there's 3 versions. So you get 3 tries per exam module. If you fail any exam module 3 times, the Coast Guard says you need to wait 60 days and then retest for all exam modules. Let's take a look at this. I want to lay it out on the whiteboard and just reiterate this so it's clear. So we have OUPV, right? This is, they call it 6-pack. It allows you up to 6 passengers, right? And we have, within the OUPV, there's exam modules. There's rules of the road, navigation general, and in this case, we're near coastal. And then we have navigation problems, chart plot, right? We call them nav problems, chart plot. Then we have deck general / safety. So the foundation says you get a deck general module, you have a deck safety module, but sometimes they combine them into deck general / safety, or navigation and deck general / safety, or rules of the road and deck general and safety. But in this case, we just have deck general / safety. Yeah, good one. Cool. So rules of the road is a great example because it's simply part A, B, C, D, and final. Right? So each of these is a topic. Let's draw some lines. Right? So A, B, C, D, and final. Topic A has resources and activities, and then a final practice quiz. Pass that final practice quiz, it unlocks part B. Use the resources and activities, pass the final practice quiz, it unlocks part C. Resources, activities, pass the final practice quiz, it unlocks part D. So on, and then the final, use these resources, activities, pass the final practice quiz here, it unlocks a certificate of achievement. This certificate of achievement, you go through all these the same way. And by passing the final practice quiz, you get your cert of achievement. Right? So that's the goal. each exam module, you go down and you unlock the certificate of achievement. Once you have all the certificates of achievement unlocked for each exam module, which make up your OUPV, you're ready for your final exam. So we could say get all these, and now you're ready, final examination. This final examination, you get 3 tries, right? 3 tries per exam module. I'm running out of room, so we'll just do this. So each exam module has 3 versions of the final exam. You can try every single version, so you get 3 tries. If you fail one exam module 3 times, you have to wait 60 days and start over and take the finals for all the exam modules. But once you pass the final examination, it results in this certificate of training. The certificate of training, or in the CFRs, it'll actually say certificate of completion. This certificate of completion satisfies the Coast Guard's testing requirements for the course that you've taken. So you want an operator of uninspected passenger vessel endorsement on your merchant mariner credential, or MMC. This is commonly known as a captain's license. You want this OUPV endorsement, you pass all these exams, you get the certificate of training. That certificate of training meets the testing requirements. You include the certificate of training in the U.S. Coast Guard application packet and send it to the Coast Guard. And they will put it all together and they'll issue your merchant mariner credential with an operator of uninspected passenger vessel endorsement. This is how the Coast Guard works. This is how they measure progress towards learning objectives and of adequate performance with the knowledge you've gained.